Cultural diversity in a workplace. With a diverse workforce of organizations, cultural diversity involves differences in gender, age, color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, religion, disability, education, personality, and skills. Issues of diversity involve attributes that are harder to identify and which can be defined after knowing the employee for a longer period of time, such as attitudes, values, traditions, and principles. Diversity can be divided into primary and secondary differences. Primary differences are stable factors that are distinguished by individuals, for example, age, gender, and racial background. These internal dimensions are basic factors that individuals live on a daily basis and define personality. Secondary differences may tremendously alter, such as religious belief, class, education, and experience. A final layer of diversity is associated with the organizational context involving the job or position held, seniority, or status at work. Primary dimensions are also known as internal dimensions. These include aspects of diversity over which typically we have no control. They cannot be changed. These dimensions houses the majority of divisions between and among individuals. These aspects are those which we notice immediately in other individuals and which we develop many of the perceptions. While secondary dimensions are also known as external dimensions, these include facets of our lives that we have some control over and may transition over time. These aspects are those that may impact the careers we choose and our workplace behaviors. These dimensions also impacts who we choose to build friendships and relationships with. Importance of cultural diversity. It is important to recognize cultural backgrounds in any organization since similarities can negatively influence a company's success. Diversity management enables an organization to transform diversity from a legal responsibility to an asset. Without diversity in the workplace, hospitality corporations run the risk of becoming monoculture organizations that see things from a very limited perspective. Establishing diversity in a workplace is not limited to laws that pertain to the hiring of women, disabled people, gay men and lesbians, and minority ethnic groups. It is not limited to managing or even honoring differences between people, but it is about considering those differences and allowing them to work in the best possible way for the benefit of both the organizations and the worker. Benefits of cultural diversity. Cultural diversity creates cultural competence for the organization. It has several ways providing a competitive edge and increased productivity in hospitality industry. One example is cultural diversity helps develop maximize skill sets. A culturally diverse workplace empowers people to develop their talents and skills. A range of ideas and expertise enables those to learn from a more diverse collection of colleagues. It can also boost problem solving capabilities and increase happiness and productivity. In an environment where all voices are heard, the spirit of innovation and encouragement to contribute can drive business success. Solutions and best practices for cultural diversity. Cultural diversity changed over time due to factors like migration, globalization, and technological advancement, leading to both new cultural expressions and adaptation of existing ones. This change can manifest in various ways, including shifts in language, traditions, beliefs, and social norms. There are three ways that cultural diversity can change over time. The first one is acculturation. This process occurs when groups from different cultures come into contact and begin to share their customs, traditions, and beliefs. As individuals from different cultures interact, they may adopt certain aspects of each other's culture, leading to a gradual blending of culture and practices. Next one is the assimilation. It involves the adaptation of dominant culture by a minority group. This can happen through various means, including education, language learning, and intermarriage. Assimilation can result in a loss of original culture identity of the minority group as they become integrated into the mainstream culture. The third one is a cultural diffusion. Cultural diffusion is the spread of cultural elements such as ideas, technologies, and practices from one culture to another. This can occur through various mechanisms, including trade, migration, and communication. Cultural diffusion can lead to both the preservation and modification of cultural tradition.
How to effectively manage cultural diversity? Challenges exist. There are some approaches that can effectively help hospitality companies to manage cultural diversity. Cultural diversity brings both opportunities and challenges to hospitality companies. Managing it will can lead to improved teamwork, creativity, and customer satisfaction. We have cultural awareness and sensitivity training and inclusive communication, diverse hiring and fair policies, and encourage team collaboration and celebrate cultural differences. By applying these strategies, hospitality companies can turn cultural diversity into strength, improving employees' satisfaction and enhancing guest experience. There are six strategies including 1. Creating programs that improve awareness of cultural diversity. Develop initiatives and activities to educate people about different cultures and their significance. 1. Creating programs that improve awareness of cultural diversity. Like create programs that improve awareness of cultural diversity. 2. Improving positive attitudes towards cultural differences. Like promote positive attitudes towards cultural differences. 3. Realizing the same point of view and relation among different ethnic groups, like recognize common perspective and connections among different ethnic groups. 4. Being flexible in communication. Be flexible in communication, like adapt communication styles to accommodate cultural norms and references. 5. Showing personal concern and confusion when encountering cultural obstacles, like express personal concern and seek clarification facing cultural barriers, fostering openness and honesty when encountering misunderstanding due to cultural differences. 6. Establish cultural diversity committees, um, form dedicated groups to guide and oversee diversity and inclusion efforts with organization or communities. Define organizational values and policies. Ensure you give proper answer to this question before deciding fundamental policies and ethics of your organization. What the organization eventually aims at, what aims you want to promote to apply effectively cultural diversity in workplace and hospitality. Organizational values are the core principles and beliefs that guide an organization behavior, decision making, and culture. And organizational policies, there are formal guidelines and rules that govern operation, employee conduct, and decision making. They ensure that consistency, accountability, and alignment with the organization goals and values. Before deciding the policies or ethics, consider the ultimate goal is to provide excellent hospitality service that ensures customer satisfaction, promotes sustainability, and foster employee growth. And what image you want to promote? Uh, I welcoming, respectful, and exclusive organization that values quality service and cultural sensitivity, and how to apply cultural diversity effectively in workforce. For example, embrace exclusively that respect all the backgrounds, provide diversity training, and encourage cross-cultural communication, and also implement fair hiring practices and promote equal opportunities. Adopt employees' relationship management system. To integrate workers from different cultures into the workplace, managers should have create good relationship with them. Some programs can help develop the relationship they are language teaching, celebrating differences, religious or traditional holidays of employees, involving employees' families into some companies' activities in it. Integrate workers from different cultures, managers should have built strong relationship by understanding their employees, personalities, and backgrounds. These can be supported by programs like language classes, celebrating cultural holidays, and involving families and company events. These efforts create family-like atmosphere for host employees. By diversity management training program. Training program is another factor ensures effective management of cultural diversity. Diversity management training program is hospitality industry aims to equip employees at all levels with the knowledge and skills to work effectively in multicultural environment. With globalization, such as training like cross-cultural programs help overseas managers and staff understand different culture norms, improve communication, and manage diversity-related issues. Cultural diversity training. The cultural diversity training involves understand what why it is important, understanding culture at all levels from individual national organization levels. Trainer need explain the behavioral influences of cultural the job, the define and the phenomena of stereotype assumption, reduce prejudice. Diversity training is extended. Diversity training helps participants understand what cultures is, why it matters. It covers culture, influences at individual, national, and organizational levels. Example, a company holds a workshop for its employees from different countries. The trainer explained how communication styles vary across cultures. Some may value directness, while others prefer indirect approaches. Language Bank. Another effective tool is Language Bank. It is a program that workers are available to interpret different language for other workers who need translators. Language Bank. A language bank is a program where bilingual workers help translate for co-workers who don't speak the same language. It improves communication and understanding in multilingual workplace. Example, a Spanish-speaking employee helps translate safety instructions or a new Spanish-speaking worker. A bilingual nurse interprets for a patient who speaks Vietnamese and the English-speaking doctor.
Hi everyone! Today we are going to explore a topic that's super important if you're planning to work in a hospitality industry. So whether it is a hotelier, restaurant staff, or even a tour guide, it's all about understanding culture because hospitality isn't just about food, room, or tours. It is all about the people, and people come from a different or all sorts of background. So how do we make sure we give the best experiences to guests who might think, act, or feel different from us? That's what we'll find out today. So let's start with the basic. What is culture? So culture is more than just food or clothes. It includes our beliefs, values, customs, and even how we greet people or show respect. So for example, in the Philippines, we say po or opo to show respect. While in India, so people greet each other with a namaste, and in Italy, kissing on the cheek is a common greetings. So these cultural traits shape how we believe in society. So when someone visits a place with a different culture, they might experience culture shocks or even they feel confused or surprised by the things that are normal to the locals. In hospitality, culture matters a lot. Why? Because we interact with people from different parts of the world. So they might speak different languages or even have different values. For example, let's say that you're working in a hotel and a guest from Japan comes in. So they may prefer quiet, polite service. But a guest from the US might want a friendly chat. So if you don't know this, you could come off as a rude or unprofessional. So even if you don't or you didn't mean to. So cultural understanding helps avoid miscommunication and ensures guests feel welcome. So here are the 4 reasons why cultural awareness is important for his hospitality workers. So first is culture is why people travel. So many tourists visit places to explore culture. Imagine someone traveling to Cebu to experience Sinulog, right? So they're there for the culture, not just for the hotel. Next is hotels are expanding globally. So big chains like Marriott or Hilton are in many countries. So staffs must be prepared to serve diverse guests. So the third one is the employees come from different culture. So, like for example, your co-workers may be from different religion or even different countries. So, we should be aware on this. And the last one is hospitality is a people's business. So it's all about how we treat people, understanding their culture, make the experience feel personal and respectful. Next is the cross-cultural service encounters. So every day in hospitality, there are what we call cross-cultural encounters. So this means interacting with people who may not share your background or behavior. So why is this a challenge? It is because what's considered polite in one culture may be seen as rude in another. So example, a guest from Saudi Arabia might be uncomfortable with female staff shaking hands with him. So while in the US, not shaking hands might seem unfriendly. So as a hospitality workers, we need to be more sensitive to those differences. So next is the guest expectations vary by culture. So different cultures expect different things when they're being served. So some studies is guests from the Asia values respect and privacy, while guests from the Western countries prefer personalized and open service. While in some culture, tip generously and others don't tip at all. So if you don't know your guest culture, you might misinterpret their reactions. A smile, a nod, or even a silence can mean different things depending on where someone comes from. So next is the impact of a cross-cultural misunderstanding. So if we don't understand each other's culture, what happened? So we might have a confusion, conflicts, poor service, negative reviews, or even a business loss. So example of this is imagine a hotel from a desk worker speaks loudly and uses a lot of hand gestures, which might be normal for them, but to a guest from a more reserved culture, this might feel aggressive. So that one interaction could lead to a bad review, even if the intentions was good. Cross-cultural service quality. If we want to provide a quality service, we must understand cultural preferences. So here are the key tips. Don't give the same type of service to everyone. We should adjust because some guests want small talk, other wants privacy, some like want smiles, other preferred professional formality, some want help with bags, or other may feel uncomfortable with that. So we call this culture-oriented service. So changing how we serve to match just cultural expectations, that's how we build a loyalty. So managers and communications challenges. So let's now look at the manager's roles. Did you know that 80% of a hospitality manager's time is spent talking to staff, guests, or bosses? Communication is a key. If a managers can explain tasks clearly, or if they don't understand cultural differences, it creates misunderstanding, low morale, and service problems. So example, a manager giving direct criticism might be seen as helpful in one culture, but in another, it could be embarrassing or disrespectful. Communications and culture are connected like best friends, but sometimes communication breakdowns due to different values, different way of speaking or expressing emotions, and misunderstanding humor or body languages. To fix this, managers must create a working environment that respects all cultures. That means training staff, encouraging empathy, and listening to feedbacks. Next is effective leadership language. So, to lead a multicultural team, managers must motivate the team, give clear directions, and inspire trust. But these don't work if they don't know how to talk a different type of people. So, example of this is a manager who only speaks English and uses technical words might lose the attentions of a non-native speaker. So that leads to a confusion and mistakes. Poor communication makes staff feel confused, unappreciated, less motivated, and more likely to be quit. So that's why using the right words in the right way is very, very important. To wrap it up, hospitality is more than just a service. It is understanding people, and people come with different cultures, backgrounds, and expectations. So the more we understand this, the better we serve. Whether you're serving food, checking guests in, or managing a hotel, cultural awareness makes the difference between good service and great service. And that's all. Thank you.